to do it again today. This is our Wednesday workbook. I will change that to say Wednesday. Okay, remember you can click the bubble to watch this video again. And here we go, Term 2, Week 2. We are on Wednesday. Now, everyone that got the booklet the other day has this overview. Today, Miss Collie has to do an online meeting, so she won't be able to be there for a BTN Zoom, so we're just going to not do that Zoom. What we'll do is in the morning, we will do the morning Zoom, and I will do that with 2, 3C and 3 Yet. Okay, no BTN Zoom today, just the morning Zoom. Then you have English in the morning, mathematics, forget about that one, and creative arts. So just the morning Zoom, English, maths, creative arts. Okay. Home learning today, English. Complete all tasks in Activity 6 of your English workbook, and then watch BTN and choose your favourite story. Now it says we will watch it together in class, but what I'll get you to do is you can watch that on ABC, and I will share the link to the Stage 2 classes. You can watch that on your own. I believe it might be on at 10 o'clock on the ABC if you switch it over to the ABC, but I'll confirm that and I'll get back to you. Either way, we'll let you know. Mathematics, play the 2 handfuls game, read the instructions, watch the videos, have a go at the activities, post your findings to Classroom, and don't forget to complete your Mathletics and Prodigy tasks. And creative arts, Activity 2 from the workbook, and investigate an Australian artwork. Okay, Activity 6, Task A is an editing task. You need to pay close attention. There's something wrong with the narrative that is attached to the slide on the next page. You need to fix the punctuation, spelling, and grammar so it makes sense. Use a highlighter tool if you can when you're online. Otherwise, it's probably easier for you to use a real highlighter if you have it printed out. Then you can write your corrections as comments next to the text. This is if you're online and you're only working online, write the answers next to it. The other way you could do it is you could write it in your book and then take a photo of that. We'll just rewrite the text and fix it. When you're finished, submit your work on ClassDojo or Google Classroom. So this is the editing passage, and you can see that there's a lot of mistakes. I'm going to give you one. What do we need? Or I'm going to give you a hint. What do we need at the start of a sentence? Okay, reading that out, I know that there are some spelling mistakes. I know that there are some place names that need some capital letters. I know that there are some capital letters that are there that should not be there. I know that there's some missing punctuation. And even though the words are spelled incorrectly, they sound like, if you read it out, you can hear what those words are meant to be. If you don't understand a word, like this word here, meandering, okay, if you don't understand a word, go and look it up and see if you can figure out whether that's spelled correctly or incorrectly. Look up the meaning of it. Same with this one. And this one, and this one, okay? If there's words that you don't understand, go and look it up. If you can't find it, it's probably spelled incorrectly and you might have to change the way it's spelled, change some letters around and see if you can find it. All right, reading, same as what you've been doing every other day. Read a book and then think about your fluency, your expression, and all of that stuff that we do in guided reading, and then you need to go tell a parent about it, or you can write all about what happens in your text that you're reading and put it through on ClassDojo to me, Miss Collie, or Mr. Williams. Okay, word chain. Read or listen to the poem Sock Monster. There's a link there, click on it and you can go to Sock Monster. It's a poem by Beverly McWilliams from the School Magazine. Construct a word chain describing your favourite socks in the document. So words you can think of that have something to do with it. So if there was, let's say, the word courage. Think of all the words that you can think of that have something to do with courage. So honor, I think of when I think of courage. When I think of honor, I think of knights, as in the fighting knights from the past, the ones that ride on the horses. So when I think of knights, I think of bravery, and when I think of bravery, I think of chivalry. So helping out people that are nice and help people out. Okay, so I've just made a whole link, starting from courage, I've made a link to a whole bunch of other words. I know it sounds a bit confusing, but think of all of the words, think of words that make you think of other words, if that makes sense. So I went from courage to honor to bravery, to knights, to bravery, to chivalry. Okay, chivalry might be a new word for you there. But the word before it helps you think of the word after it. Okay? And then share, so construct a word chain describing your favourite socks in the document, and then share your work through the online platform. Then you need to check your work, but make sure that you've done your editing tasks, independent reading in the word chain. Remember that you need to reflect on that by talking about how narrative helps you to communicate with others, and how narrative is different in different types of texts, and talk about the structure of narratives, because you've been learning about it for the last week or two, that you have an orientation and complication and resolution, that all narratives have characters and settings and imagery. Talk about what imagery is. You've been looking at that the last few days. Okay, Wednesday, activity 8, 2 handfuls. Okay, with this activity, you need to play the 2 handfuls game. Read the instructions on page 21. You can watch the videos, but I think the videos haven't been working too well. I will explain how to do this. Have a go at the activities on page 24, and then post your findings on Google Classroom. When we go through, I know I'm talking a bit fast now, but when we go through, what you need to do is take 2 handfuls. It says that you need to collect something like pasta, counters, marbles, something that you've got a lot of. Then you need to take 2 handfuls of whatever that is. And if you make a mess, you need to clean that mess up. Take 2 handfuls, and then you need to estimate. So estimate means I'm not going to count that right away. I'm going to look at my handfuls, and I'm going to guess how many I might have there. Then you need to organize it so that someone can see how many there are without having to count everything by once. Okay, so if I was going to organize, if I picked up lots and lots and lots of pasta, I might organize my pasta in rows of 5, because I know how to count by 5s. So if I put lots and lots of rows of 5, then all someone else has to do is go count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, but they need to be able to see that it's rows of 5, so I'm going to put them in straight lines so I can see that every one of my rows has 5. Okay, determine how many items you have by looking at them and thinking. Is there a pattern that you can see? Is there an easier way to answer the question? Okay, I might go through this better on the Zoom this morning. So if you can check in on the Zoom, have a look. Okay, this is playing 2 handfuls. This is the instructions in detail. Gather the pasta, counters, marbles, or broad beans. Take 2 handfuls. Determine how many items you have. Organize a collection, just like I've explained. And then you need to write things. Then you need to organize it in a different way. So I organized it in 5s. Now I might organize it in 10s. Okay. Compare the different ways you can arrange the collections. Then write down 3 things that are the same and 3 things that are different between the collections. Okay. And then the last thing is your creative arts activity. Also make sure you're doing Prodigy, Typing Club, Mathletics, Reading Eggs, all of those things. You have lots and lots of different things to keep you entertained and to keep you learning throughout the day. But those are the activities for today. Remember, no BTN at 12 o'clock or 10 o'clock. We've got our BTN at 9:15 this morning. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day of learning.